Hi there. Y'all know what stop motion is? Do I really need to explain it? So let's just get to the meat of it. This is the top 10 creepiest stop motion creatures. Nick Park really does have a talent of making clay entertaining, creating the British way of life through the characters of Wallace and Gromit, along with a cast of villains. But none is better remembered than the Penguin. Yeah, I know he has a name, but we all remember him just as the Penguin. You know, the little small guy that didn't talk with those demon bitty eyes? It makes you think, what kind of horror fiction has Nick been reading? You gotta love the combo of Greek mythology and stop motion. It filled plenty of seats at the movies. And the guy we mostly associate this with is Mr. Before They Used Computers, Ray Harryhausen. And one of his coolest creations was the Gorgon Medusa from Clash of the Titans. But don't worry, I'm not gonna show. Too late! One of the most recognizable mascots in history are the Californian Raisins, and their cover of I Heard It Through the Grapevine. Despite being a cute idea, the outcome doesn't quite work. I don't understand human psychology, but I don't think we're meant to accept raisins with faces. And somehow their cartoon forms are even worse. By the way, these were created by Will Venton. We'll get back to him. Man with Issues is a hidden gem on YouTube. Created by Tom Riley, it's a 2-minute video that delves into the psyche of a baboon-faced man and his disgruntled nature towards others. Unfortunately, I can't really go on about it without spoiling it. Trust me, you should just take a look at this thing. By the way, I want to clarify, creepy does not mean badly made. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is a well-loved cult comedy, and one of the most unpredictable moments, in fact one of the most unpredictable moments in movie history, is when the deranged man-child himself gets a lift from large Marge. She recounts the worst accident she ever saw, and at the end when she talks about the aftermath of the accident, she gives a facial description with her own face. That kind of looks like Satan's vagina. I wouldn't know what Satan's vagina looks like, I'm just guessing. The Peanut Vendor is one of the oldest examples of the workings of stop motion, possibly considered to be the first music video. It uses the song by Perez Prado, The Peanut Vendor, to an albino monkey dancing. Or at least that's what I think he's doing. The jerky movement kind of makes it difficult to tell what he's trying to do. But hey, for one of the first attempts, it's not that bad. But I swear, every time you freeze frame it, it's disturbing to look at. The Amanda Show was one of Nickelodeon's goofball comedies, creating a star out of Amanda Bynes. The show itself has kind of a cult status to it. And if you remember it, you probably remembered this thing too. This is meant to be Amanda's stop-motion counterpart. Or maybe it's meant to be a demon, you couldn't really tell. But it was voiced by Bynes herself. It's not only going to give you nightmares, it robs you from any dream you had. This short won Best Short Film of 1989 at the Oscars. And for good reason. Showing the challenge of compromise and survival, it's simply a story of a cast of 5 white men in coats and their fascination with a music box. There's no dialogue, and they're not really that creepy looking, but the video has such an eerie atmosphere. And because there's no dialogue, all you have is this ambient sound to it, making it more unsettling. They're even numbered for some reason. The Adventures of Mark Twain is another work of Will Benton. He's like a clay molding god. Speaking of God, this moment in the movie has been immortalized by YouTube. The Mysterious Stranger, based on one of Twain's novels, the masked entity in armor, who gives a monologue to the kids, the spark notes of reality and death. It feels like you have to turn your brain inside out to get the idea. Caroline still remains the finest example of stop-motion movie making. With its length and budget, it creates a surreal trip that doesn't quite go over the edge, because it was never on the edge to begin with. But with no contest, the darkest part of this movie was the Other Mother, and especially in its final form. It looks like they created this thing with every single sharp, infected, nasty object. In fact, it looks creepy in all its forms. The best way I could describe this is heavy metal. Trust me about that. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. And remember, none of these are real. Apart from that one.